Good morning, everyone. It's been a couple of days since we've been in here with an interview. Reason being, people are pumping out lots of content at the moment. So many of the people that I am lining up to speak to are really busy at the moment. So never mind, we'll get there and we'll catch a moment. It will always be the right time to speak to them. So I don't need to stress, and neither do you. And that's actually why I'm popping on this morning to create this video. I was chatting to a friend this morning, and she, like many other people at the moment, has had a bit of a tough time. Things have not been going as she expected. Things that had been on her mind are being exacerbated by conditions at the moment. So things sort of coming to a head, and I think that might be a fairly common theme for a lot of people. Um, and her response when I spoke was, she said, "You sound so calm." And in all honesty, 99% of the time, I actually feel very calm. Certainly, we've been impacted by current circumstances, um, and we've had to adjust and rethink. And I had a vision this morning, I suppose, a bit of a dream. I don't know what it was, and realised I feel a little bit like a butterfly in a storm. There's lots of things going on around me. There's lots of new ideas and new potentials, all swirling around me, but I can't quite land just yet. And I know that can be a really uncomfortable place. And I'm going to think that there's probably a lot of people out there feeling in a similar way, that they're just not quite sure what direction to go in, not quite sure how to put their feet on the ground, how to bring it down, how to make whatever it is that they've thought of or that they want to achieve, how to make that happen. And I think the clue is in the wording. You can't make it happen. It will happen. Its timing is there. It will burst. It will come to ground. It will come through you when the time is right. So try to relax and enjoy the situation you're in at the moment. So many people wish they had more time to do different things. Um, this probably feels stressful because it's been enforced. It's not been a choice, and as humans, we don't like not having a choice. Um, it we fight against that. We want to be, free willed, free spirited beings, doing as we choose to do. And sometimes that just doesn't come about. So we fight it when we feel like we're being backed into a corner and forced into something. Um, and I'm no different. I do have my moments of fear, concern, anxiety, but as soon as I recognise that's the feeling, I turn and focus myself back onto what I do want to be, where I want to be, how I want to be right now, and recognising this space, this sort of seemingly empty space that I'm sitting in, as actually just a whirlpool of potential. And that as I just focus on feeling calm, and I don't know, you probably can't see behind me, I don't know which way to go to get out of the way. This sign says peace. It's the peace rock. I thought I'd put a backdrop up this morning just to give you a peaceful outdoor environment. But this is actually a little peaceful meditation spot on one of the major rivers here near where I live. So find your way back to peace. Find something to be grateful for, because there's lots. There's really is lots. And I have personal experience of the power of feeling gratitude. And, I'm getting the prompt to share more of my stories. That sort of feels a little bit scary. But one of them, I think this one's really pertinent to what's going on for a lot of people right now. Those who don't know me, I have, me and my family, my husband and my 3 children. 6 years ago, we sold our home. We sold probably 95% of our belongings and set off to travel Australia in a caravan. Now, that's not an unusual story. There's a lot of people doing that. I guess maybe the slightly more unusual aspect was that 2 of our children were virtually teenagers, so a tough time to take them away from what they've known. But it's worked for our family and worked very well. But the part of the story that I'd like to share this morning is 3 months into our trip. We had spent probably 8 years of dreaming it, 18 months preparing to do it, and then we'd been on the road for 3 months. And we had a relatively minor accident, but it resulted in our caravan being a write-off. And we were stuck in outback Queensland, knew no one, and had no idea how long insurance may take to come through, or even if it would come through. So the truth of the situation was that if insurance didn't cough up, we didn't have the funds to start from scratch and set ourselves up again. So potentially we would be looking at, spending more time in an area that we hadn't planned on spending time. And our future was very uncertain. Our home, we were essentially homeless. Our home had just been destroyed. And, whilst we had money to live on, we didn't have money to set ourselves up again. There was a lot of fear. In those first few days, there was a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. And my driving force at that time was to maintain my calm and my positive outlook in order to provide a sense of calm and security for my children, because kids feel everything. And if their safety zone doesn't feel safe anymore, if they feel like they're in free fall, that's a really scary place for them. So I needed to be their rock. I needed to be their place to anchor and be secure. So I had to find a way to find security for myself. And I did that by looking back at others of my travel stories and realizing that there was a number of them where I could have had really serious outcomes, and the outcome was uncertain as I was in it, and realizing that we were actually in every situation okay, and that they'd now become great travel stories. In fact, they were the stories our kids always wanted us to tell. So I drew on that, and I started to look around for the things that I could feel positive and feel grateful for. And first and foremost amongst those was the immense and extraordinary kindness and generosity offered to us by complete strangers while we were in our situation. We were taken in, we were offered so much, and we knew if we sat in our moment, right in the very moment that we were living and breathing in, we were safe and secure. We had everything that we needed. We had shelter, we had food, we had each other, because none of us had been injured in this accident. We had kindness, so we had a lot to be grateful for. And it even got down to doing a list of 20 things and just putting it out there every day of what I could be grateful for. And it was things like having a hot shower, having a good coffee, because I'm not an instant coffee girl, and you've got to have a good coffee to get your day going. Things like being able to sit out in the sunshine and watch the wildlife play in the skies, on the ground around me, the hugs from my children, being taken in by a family that we didn't know, who just extended us extraordinary generosity, to finding a new caravan within 7 days of our accident, to insurance covering everything that we needed. Ultimately, we got the upgrade in the caravan that we wanted through this experience. So it was a case of just sitting and finding all the little things that I could be grateful for and focusing on that and making that the mantra of my day. And I feel that really applies now. There's so much that we can be grateful for right now. The space, the time, being able to sleep in on those mornings if you want to. Down here in Tasmania, it's getting colder. So being able to stay in bed a little bit longer in the morning is actually really lovely. So we can get up when it's just a smidge warmer. It might only be a degree, but it's a degree. There are just so many things. Seeing the kindness of strangers to other strangers. If you're anyone on social media, then you will see things like the kindness pandemic and just all these amazing things. Artists that are offering their services free via Facebook Live and many other platforms. So looking for the positive and the focusing on the gratitude. So that's how I stay calm. That's how I stay centered. I look at what it is that I need in my life right now, and always I have everything that I need in my life right now. If I start to look into the future and start to question and start to wonder, I lose it. The thread starts to unravel. So I bring myself back to right in this moment. I have all that I need. So I'm sending this out to you to let you know that you too have all that you need right in this moment, and to focus on that and to be grateful for that. And to, when you step into those moments of uncertainty and fear, and you can feel yourself going down that slippery slope of despair and anxiety, grab onto the rope of gratitude and allow that to just hold you steady. So sending that out to you with lots of love, and I'll catch up with you again soon, and I'll be letting you know who will be in my next interview on the Women's Wisdom Conversation series very, very soon. Take care.